Are inside the gates at this point this morning. Right behind me is the Hangout stage. Later on tonight, the big headlining act is the Black Keys, and they will be performing at 9 o'clock tonight. We're hours away from that. We know a lot of you may be coming down. If you are coming down, some things that you need to remember. You can't bring everything with you that you maybe usually do when you go to the beach. There are some do's and don'ts set up to make sure that everybody stays safe when they're out here. So taking a look at all of that, first things first, there is some pretty good security here in terms of what you can bring and how you can bring it in. This is the size of a backpack that is okay to bring in. Nothing bigger than this. And if you do bring this in, they are going to go through this and look for whatever you have in there. They want to make sure that everybody stays safe. That's the most important thing. There is going to be a line set up at security that will make sure that the people who don't have any backpacks coming in get to go through a little bit faster. So just to run down all of the things you should remember. Sunscreen is a good thing to have. It is going to be sunny today. It's gorgeous. No clouds in sight at all. And that sunscreen could help you, keep you from getting sunburned after spending the weekend out here. You can bring blankets and towels to spread out on the beach, but no chairs are allowed when you come. You can bring cameras, but they cannot have detachable lenses. So you can go ahead and take pictures, but you're not allowed to bring the big cameras with the detachable lenses. You can bring an empty water container. This is important. You cannot bring in big jugs full of water. You can bring in empty water containers, and they do have water stations set up for you all across the area. Now, the list of things that you cannot bring in, pretty basic stuff. No weapons, no outside food or drinks, no chairs or coolers, no video, audio equipment, and no fireworks. Again, we talked about the backpacks. They're discouraging those, but you can bring them if they are the right size. So, some things to be thinking about as you are getting set to head here to where we are this morning. It is a lot to think about. A lot of those things may be hard to remember, so you may want to check out the app that they have. The Hangout Fest app could come in really handy. You can check the schedule each day to see where your favorite bands are playing and which stage they're going to be on. You can even create your own custom schedule so you don't miss any of the bands that you want to see. The app also has a map of the festival grounds, the latest Hangout news, and lots of other features. You can download that on iTunes for free. We're going to be bringing you live coverage of the Hangout Fest throughout the morning here on Fox 10 News. Again, we're in front of the Hangout stage, and can you see the sun behind me? This is going to be a gorgeous day with lots of folks coming here to the beach. Reporting live in Gulf Shores, I'm Sarah Wall, Fox 10 News.
And we're learning more about...
And welcome back to Fox 10 News on this beautiful Friday morning. It's now 6:10. I'm Sarah Wall, live in Gulf Shores at the scene of the Hangout Music Festival. Gates don't open here until 11 o'clock this morning, but we are inside the gates standing in front of the Hangout stage. The Black Keys are the headliner on that stage tonight, and they will be taking the stage at 9 o'clock. Bands will be taking the stage, of course, leading up to that, but the Black Keys are the headliners. As I mentioned, it is gorgeous out here this morning, and the weather is warming up as we work our way through the day, of course. If you're thinking about, with this warmer weather, maybe heading out onto the water, there are some things that you should remember so that you stay safe. It is big boating season. We're officially, well, almost officially, into the start of summertime. Boating is a huge part of life here on the Gulf Coast. It's a lot of fun, but it can also be dangerous. Listen to this. The Coast Guard says 101 people died in boating accidents along the Gulf Coast last year. They say the most important thing you can do while boating is to put on your life jacket.
Things are going to happen. We realize that's going to happen. But if you have a life jacket on, it is what it says. It's a life jacket. It's going to save your life.
Some other things to have on hand if you're boating include flares, a marine radio, and a float plan. Now today here in Gulf Shores there is a limit set up out in the water as far as where boaters can come. You can't boat where people are swimming. The water may be a little bit chilly today to get into, as temperatures this morning, at least where I'm standing, seem to be much cooler than what we're used to for this time of the year. And Michael, am I right about that? Are we a little bit cooler today?
Sarah, you are exactly right about that. And I must say, I'm a little impressed that it's only the jacket you have on. I was expecting the scarf and the gloves. I'd see just the jacket this morning.
I'm pretty tough, you know.
You are definitely tough, that is for sure. But the good news is, Sarah, it's going to be a lot warmer out there now that the sun is creeping up. But
6:25 is our time right now on this Friday morning. Thank you so much for choosing to spend your morning with us right here on Fox 10 News. I'm Sarah Wall, live in Gulf Shores, where the Hangout Festival gates are going to be opening in about 5 hours from right now. Gates actually open at 11, but you know what? There's a lot of action here right now. You can see behind me, this is the Hangout stage. This is where the Black Keys will be performing tonight. They're the headliners on this stage tonight at 9 o'clock, but you can see that they're busy setting up the stage, getting ready for all of the acts to begin a little later on this afternoon. This place is happening. There's lots to see here, lots to do. There's even a VIP area right by this stage that has swimming pools, and maybe more appropriately for at least the weather outside this morning, there are hot tubs in there. Because you know what? It's not hot out here this morning, Michael White. It's actually a nice, cool start. It's beautiful, but cool.
You're right about that, Sarah, and it's unseasonably cool.
And welcome back to the Hangout Festival in Gulf Shores. I'm Sarah Wall reporting live. It is a beautiful day here today on the beach in Gulf Shores as we're gearing up for the opening, the gates to open. That's going to happen in about 5 hours from right now at 11 o'clock. That being said, the fact that it's a gorgeous day on the beach means there may be a lot of people heading out this way, not only today and this weekend. Joining me now is Melvin Shepard, Safety Director with Orange Beach. Thanks for being here with us this morning.
You're welcome.
We were just looking at the water saying, wow, it just looks so calm. It looks like glass, but that is not necessarily the case today.
It's not. The National Weather Service in Mobile has issued a moderate rip current forecast throughout the weekend. And today, like today, when it's nice and flat, everybody thinks it's safe to go in the water. It's never safe to go in the Gulf of Mexico. There's always conditions that you may not see that can affect you and your ability to stay afloat in the water. So just use caution when you come down to the beach this weekend.
And a good way to do that is to look at the flags, right?
Yes, ma'am. Check the flags, see what flag conditions are posted, and know your swimming abilities. If you're not a strong swimmer, then treat every day as if it were a red flag day, and just be very, very safe around the water.
Now today it's a little bit cooler, so we're not worrying so much about heat, but that is a factor when you go to the beach.
It is. You know, even right now it's 52 degrees, but it's going to warm up some during the daytime. As people come down to the festival, they have a tendency to stop drinking as much water, so they start becoming dehydrated, and that plays in, affecting your body. Another thing that people often forget about, like this morning, it's nice and cool out here, is sunscreen. So they'll come down to the beach, may not apply sunscreen, and wind up getting sunburned. So, they do need to apply sunscreen while they're down here at the festival and just at the beach in general.
A lot of good things to remember, especially, we're looking at the water this morning thinking it's so calm and so peaceful, but we need to be careful when we come out today. We know a lot of people are coming here to the Hangout Festival, and we're kind of getting the summer thing started as well, so the beach is going to be a popular place. Eric, it is beautiful today, and it's nice and cool, like you would like.
Oh, I'm envious. You know that right there on the beach, a nice cool breeze, Sarah.
It's great, and the sun's coming up. It's shaping up to be a great Friday ahead.
All right, we'll look forward to hearing more from you from the beach. Sarah Wall is live there at Gulf Shores for the Hangout Fest.
6:43 is our time right now on this Friday morning. Thanks for joining us here on Fox 10 News. I'm Sarah Wall, live in Gulf Shores at the Hangout Music Festival. They're setting up the stage behind me right here. This is the Hangout stage. You can see the drums, the Black Keys. They are the headliners tonight here on this stage at 9 o'clock. Gates do open at 11 for today. Now, last night, things got started with a kickoff party. It featured several acts like Iron and Wine and Girl Talk. Music fans call the festival an economic boost that South Baldwin County needs.
Oh, there's no doubt that I'm happy to support this town. I mean, this before the Hangout came here, this was a dead weekend. There was nothing going on, between Memorial Day and spring break. The Hangout has come in and they've really put this together, and it brings so much money into the economy. It's an incredible thing.
An impact study showed last year's Hangout Music Festival created more than 500 jobs and generated some $31 million. We talked to Grant Brown earlier with the city of Gulf Shores. He's talking about thousands and thousands of people finding out about our part of the world, all around the world, because of this event happening here this weekend. A lot of you may be coming. Gates are opening again for today at 11 o'clock, so about 5 hours or so from right now. When you do, there are some things that you need to remember, because it's not like your average day at the beach. You can't bring your coolers and all your tents and all your stuff that you normally might bring. So some things to be thinking about when you are coming. Remember to bring plenty of sunscreen and a blanket or beach towel to sit on. Cameras are okay, but they cannot have a detachable lens. Remember, you have to bring an empty water container. There will be water filling stations throughout the festival site. So that's a look at what you cannot or can bring and can't bring. And remember, no outside food or drinks, chairs or coolers. A good resource to have to check all this stuff out is the Hangout Fest app. It has things like the daily schedule of all the bands playing and a map of the festival grounds. The app is free on iTunes. One more thing to be thinking about when you come in, you can bring an average size backpack, one like this, but they will be checking it. They'll be going through it to make sure you're not bringing any of the other stuff you're supposed to bring. The water bottle that you bring, this one's full, but the one you bring needs to be empty. It can be a liter in size. You bring it in empty, and the water filling stations are set up all across the area so you can make sure you have plenty to drink. There is a lot going on here in Gulf Shores as we're gearing up for the gates to open a little bit later on this morning. And Eric, it could not be a prettier day here at the beach.
I tell you, a busy day ahead. I'm sure you're waiting to see the crowd start coming in there soon. All right.
Poor Sarah's on the other end of the beach, way over there. This is a big thing. And we're over on this end. I don't know if you want to come see this this chapel, Sarah. It's pretty interesting.
I'm excited to come see the chapel, Steve. We are on the opposite side of where Steve is. We're in front of the Hangout stage, and you know what? They just did a sound check for the Black Keys. If you're coming out here tonight, it sounded good, and I think if you live in the general vicinity, it's going to sound good. It was nice and loud. Joining me now is Grant Brown with the City of Gulf Shores. This is a huge event. 40,000 people are coming, but it goes beyond that, right?
Right. One of the best things that happens with the festival is the number of people that come to town. They get a chance to get exposed to these beautiful Gulf Coast beaches that they may not have been able to know were here. So when they take this information back to where they're from, we get repeat visits from their families, we get more visitation from them. A lot of them will even come back with generations, and they might even buy a condominium or a home here as a second home. Which
is a pretty fantastic way of kind of word of mouth getting out. We have beautiful beaches here. This weekend, are we pretty sold out? Are we pretty busy?
Yes, we are. The area here is nearly sold out, if not 100% sold out. But the good thing is there's still plenty of beaches. Even if you're not here for specifically the festival, there are other public beach accesses along our beautiful Gulf Coast, Orange Beach and our Gulf State Park and areas in Gulf Shores. So you can go to the City Gulf Shores website and get information on other beach accesses. But yeah, the festival site here is going to be full of 40,000 fans, and hopefully have a great weekend.
Very good, Grant. Thank you very much. And some really good points. If you are wanting to come to the beach, because we are almost officially into summertime, there are lots of places to go where you won't find 40,000 people and you can enjoy the beach weather. One thing to point out, though, we do know that the water looks super calm out there this morning, but there is a moderate rip current, and we are going to see some different flags in the area, so be careful about going into the water. All right, so if you are wanting to come out to the Hangout Festival, 40,000 of you we know are, there's a great way to keep track of everything that's going on. For example, the Black Keys are the main act tonight here on the Hangout Fest stage. You can keep track of that. You can even plan your own schedule so you don't miss any of your favorite bands by going to the Hangout Festival's app. They'll tell you where your favorite bands are playing, which stages they'll be on. You can create a custom schedule. It also has a map of the festival grounds and the latest Hangout news and lots of other features that you can download for the Hangout Fest, and you can do it right there on their app. Sounds like they're going to get started with another sound check at this point. They also have big tractors out here smoothing out the sand, so there is a lot going on, and we are going to stay out here throughout the morning. We got some great music, and we'll send it back to you, Eric.
All right, Sarah, thank you very much. Look forward to hearing more, and of course sound checks as well. Thanks, Sarah. Our time 7:62, huh?
You know what? It smells good already this morning, Eric. It always smells good when we're talking about Alabama Gulf seafood. It's good stuff. We're actually right now standing in front of the Hangout stage, and you can see that there's a lot of activity going on here. They're getting the stage ready. They've been doing some sound checks. They're doing some work in the sand to smooth things out and get ready for the 40,000 people that are coming. All right, so back to the food. That's a big deal when you talk about getting 40,000 people together. Joining me now is Chris Nelson with Bon Secours Fisheries. We have some pretty exciting food that we're going to be serving up because it all comes from right out there.
Absolutely. The Gulf of Mexico, which is calm and placid right now, can be otherwise, but it always produces some wonderful seafood, the best in the world, we think. We have a very supportive community of seafood producers and restaurants. There are 3 restaurants represented here. The Hungry Owl, which is staffed by a local chef from Mobile. Wenzel's Oyster House, which is an iconic restaurant here in Mobile and the region, and also Acme Oyster House, which is, of course, a landmark in New Orleans and is recently relocated here in Gulf Shores. So we're happy to have them here.
And let's talk a little bit about what it means. We're going to be feeding thousands and thousands of people. This is a good thing to get the word out.
Absolutely, absolutely. When you come to Gulf Shores, you want to eat local seafood. I would hope that you would. Unfortunately, we can't provide all the seafood in the world. locally, but when you come to where it's being produced, you need to demand the real stuff, the local stuff, and we're going to have that all here. All the seafood here will be from Alabama. We'll have shrimp, we'll have tuna, we'll have mahi, all kind of different kinds of fish that are locally produced, and we really are excited to be able to serve that to the participants here.
And it's a big industry for us here.
Absolutely. We provide 11,000 jobs locally, $500 million in economic impact, so it's a very, very important community for the economy.
Okay, so you touched on shrimp. Tell us, what else have we got? Shrimp? And...
We've got shrimp, we've got crab meat, we've got tuna, mahi, grouper, snapper, the finfish that'll be here, and of course oysters, which is what my company specializes in besides the shrimp. And we're really excited to have all that here.
Very good. Okay, so we're going to have all this local seafood, and they can come find y'all when they get here. When they don't come here, for the people who aren't coming, how do they make sure they get Alabama Gulf seafood?
Ask for it by name, and when you go in the restaurant, ask, where is this seafood, where was it caught? And if they can't tell you, ask for the manager. Because they ought to be able to tell you exactly where the seafood's from. That's the way to be sure.
All right, thank you very much. Chris with Bon Secours Fisheries, and lots of food coming up. We also have, when you put 40,000 people together on a beach, and let me point out to you here, they have had some crews out here working on the beach to make sure things are nice and clean when all of the people come today. Well, they want to make sure that the beaches stay clean, and that's an important thing to be thinking about. You put 40,000 people in one place, it could produce a lot of trash, and trash on our beaches, not a good idea. Here at the Hangout Festival, they're really pushing that people put things in the trash and that they put things in recycle bins. Here's the thing though, with leftover food containers, bottles, you name it, trash could be a problem, and if you leave it behind, it's not going anywhere for a long time.
If you leave trash on the beach, it'll be an eyesore, but more importantly, it really does not biodegrade. If you leave like a plastic bottle, it takes 450 years to biodegrade, so you don't want to be doing that for your grandchildren and their great-great-great-grandchildren as well. So make sure everybody who brings whatever they bring to the beach, they make sure to bring it back out or make sure it gets into the trash cans.
And again, those are the folks at the Alabama Coastal Foundation. It's not just food that we're talking about. It also has different things. Did you know, for example, that it takes 600 years for fishing line to biodegrade? So make sure you have all of that back in the boat with you when you're out on the water. The Alabama Coastal Foundation holds events every year focused on cleaning up trash. They also work with our school kids on why it's so important to take care of our beaches. They are absolutely beautiful, and we want to be sure we can enjoy them for years to come. It's beautiful out here this morning, and it is sure to be a great weekend. We're going to be out here throughout the weekend, throughout this morning, all the way through the Hangout Fest. So be sure to stay tuned here to Fox 10 News for the very latest on what's going on here from Gulf Shores and all across our local beaches. Eric?
Yeah, we definitely want to keep the beaches clean. Sarah, by the way, now, what do you plan on having on your plate? All that great seafood.
I'm going to go for some shrimp for sure, and then some of the finfish he was talking about. Sign me up, right? There's no line yet because we're really the only ones in here, so I think I've got a good shot at getting what I want.
All right, well, if you have an extra hand, grab me some, and Michael too, okay?
You know it. Big plate's coming back.
All right. Thanks a lot, Sarah. And of course, we'll be checking back in with Sarah.
Hey, Eric, you're exactly right. We're going to have 40,000 people right here where I am right now for the Hangout Festival, but there are lots of other things to do. It's kind of like the unofficial start to summer, and one way we know that is because Waterville is opening this weekend, and joining me now is Elizabeth McKee with Waterville.
Hi.
Big weekend.
It is a big weekend for us. We're looking forward to it. It's the first annual weekend of the water park season. It's great for all ages, family, little kids, older people. We have it all for you this weekend.
And you make a really good point, because a lot of people look for family activities to do, especially when the weather starts getting beautiful.
Exactly.
This is a really good weekend for kids too, right?
It's going to be a great weekend for kids. This weekend we have Dora the Explorer on Sunday from 12 to 2. So if you have any Dora fans out there, definitely come and see her at Waterville this weekend.
A lot of people have Dora fans. So what do we need to know? You guys are going to be open from when to when?
We're open Saturday and Sunday from 10 o'clock till 6 p.m. We have the water park, and then the amusement park will open at noon on Saturday and Sunday as well.
So once we open this weekend, the season is in full swing?
Not quite. This is just our teaser weekend. We are open Saturday and Sunday this weekend, but we'll open 7 days a week on Memorial Day weekend, which is next weekend.
And, school is not out yet for everybody, so that makes good sense.
Exactly.
Okay, so where can they find you?
We are in Gulf Shores on Highway 59. We're about a quarter of a mile away from the beach. So just come on 59 South and we'll be on the left-hand side.
Very good. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
And Waterville is a great place to spend a warm summer day. And even though it's not quite summer yet, we're getting right there. And Eric, it's a gorgeous day here at the beach. Blue skies, absolutely beautiful. And you know what? Temperatures are warming up. I may lose the coat.
That's right. You will eventually. Michael said you would. In fact, he's talking almost 80 degrees a day.
It is beautiful now for sure. Come on down and check it out.
All right, look forward to that. And of course, Waterville is always a great place for the family to enjoy some good times down there at the beach. Thanks, Sarah. We'll be checking back in again with Sarah between now and 9 o'clock this morning during Fox 10 News. Right now, we're going to find out more about the festival.
It seriously doesn't, Michael. You are right on about that. I started out this morning and it was actually cold. And I was just thinking I can take my coat off here pretty soon as temperatures are warming up. We are live in Gulf Shores at the Hangout Music Festival. Gates are not open yet. They don't open until 11 o'clock. We're actually standing in the VIP area, which has swimming pools and hot tubs. And there is the big Hangout stage. The big group tonight, the headlining group tonight is the Black Keys. They're getting set up and they have actually been doing some sound checks for us throughout the morning. And let me tell you, it sounds good. This is a huge event, not only for this event with 40,000 people, but for the whole Gulf Coast. Joining me now is Joni Flynn, the Vice President of Marketing with Gulf Shores and Orange Beach Tourism. Good morning.
Good morning, Sarah.
Let's talk a little bit about what this event means for our area.
Well, this is an event that has developed an audience for us on a traditionally very low occupancy weekend. So now, 4 years in, we are definitely well sold out. We have happy lodging partners, we have happy restaurant partners, and the important thing about this is every year the Hangout Festival ups its game. They create different experiences, enhanced experiences, and it's really only the start of many things that come throughout the summer. This is the launch point.
I was just going to say, because this is just the beginning. We have a lot going on this summer right here.
We do. We have a lot of live music events that are going to be on the beach. Floribama runs their Shindig on the Sand, which is similar to this event, with 70 acts on the beach, June 6th to 8th. Then we have our Concerts at the Wharf series, and that is a whole slew of bands on holiday weekends throughout the summer. They can seat 10,000 there, so people should look for ticket sales because there are some phenomenal bands that are coming. And then we also have things like our 150th anniversary of the Battle of Mobile Bay at Fort Morgan, which is in August. And then you intersperse that with the USSSA World Series for youth and adults for baseball and softball from the middle of June to the end of July, and that's 800 teams that come to play here.
So we have a lot going on here this summer.
A lot going on, very full beach, but really when you come, you have 32 miles of sugar white sand. You don't feel crowded on the beach. Plenty of restaurants. We had 25 new restaurants open last year. Plenty of places for people to go. Attractions. I heard you were talking to the Waterville lady before this. We have so many fun things to do in our market, and people keep returning because of the diversity of activities they can partake in, and because we're so nice. We are warm Southern hospitality.
We are nice.
And we love when they come, and it just warms the cockles of our little heart to see them enjoying themselves.
Joni, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us this morning and lay out all the plans we need to be making for the rest of the summer.
Yes, you do.
Thank you very much. All right. You know what? You can hear behind me here, they are getting started with some more of the sound checks on the big stage as they are getting ready for these bands to come in. If you are coming today, and we know 40,000 of you are, some things to be thinking about, because it's not like your regular trip to the beach. You can't bring your big beach umbrellas and your tents and your chairs and all that good stuff. So some things to be thinking about. Make sure if you come, you bring plenty of sunscreen. That's very important. The sun is already out this morning and it is beautiful. Also, you can bring blankets and beach towels to sit on. Cameras are allowed, but they cannot have detachable lenses. And remember to bring your empty water bottle, because you cannot bring in a full water bottle. This is the size that you can bring in. It's 1 liter, but it does have to be empty because they do have water filling stations throughout the area and you can fill them up. Just a note, if you're planning to bring a backpack, this is the size to bring in. Anything bigger than this is not allowed. If you do bring this in, they are going to be checking through it to make sure you bring in all the right stuff. If you do not bring in a bag, there will be a special line for you to go through that will make it so you can get through things even faster and get on in here, get your spot on the sand, and get ready for the big event. So some things to be thinking about. Don't bring in big backpacks. Small ones are okay. And remember, there is an express lane if you don't bring anything at all. If you are going to be here this weekend, how do you keep track of all of this stuff that's going on? Well, there's an app you can download, the Hangout Fest app. You can get it on iTunes. It's free. You can use it to help check your schedule, where your favorite bands are going to be. You can actually plan your whole weekend by going to that app. You can do it for free on iTunes. You can download it for free. We're going to be bringing you live coverage here from the Hangout Fest throughout the weekend. As you can see, sound checks are going again, and gates are getting set to open in about 3 hours from right now. So if y'all can hear me, I'm going to send it back to you.
All right, that worked out there right at the right time, Sarah. Thank you very much. They're starting to do more.
And thanks for joining us here on Fox 10 News on this Friday morning. What a beautiful Friday it is here in Gulf Shores. We're at the Hangout Fest where they're doing some sound checks behind us. This is the Hangout stage. The Black Keys are the headliner. They're going to be on tonight at 9 o'clock. Gates are opening here at 11, so in less than 3 hours, we're expecting thousands and thousands of people to be right here at the Hangout Fest. One of the big draws about this event is it is right here on the beach. The sand is here, the water's right there, and it's shaping up to be a beautiful day. But we want to make sure it's a safe day. So Melvin Shepard with Orange Beach Fire is here to talk a little bit about. It's a little deceptive today because it looks like glass, but it's not so much.
Yes, ma'am. You know, it is very calm out there today. However, there is a moderate rip current forecast. So when you do come to the beach, pay particular attention to the flags. They have double red flags posted here today at the Hangout Music Fest, which means the water's closed. However, if you do go out in the water, just be very safe. The currents work against you, and people become often tired, and that's when trouble gets.
Now you talk about moderate risk of rip current. That means you go out in the water, you can start to get carried away.
You can. What they're looking at is current conditions, wind direction, and things of that nature. So when you come to the beach, a real quick way to spot rip currents is look down the beach east and west. If you see any scalloped out areas going away from the water, that's normally deeper areas, and that's particularly where rip currents can form. You'll see some choppy water, foam moving out to sea. So those are just some things you can look for. But that's what the National Weather Service is looking at. So we want people to be educated about the surf conditions and just be safe, be comfortable when they come down here.
Very good. Thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us today, especially because we walked out here. First thing we said is, it's so smooth. It's a perfect day to get into the water.
It is, and people just need to understand that it's not necessarily safe to go out. So just because it looks that way doesn't mean it is.
Melvin Shepard with Orange Beach Fire, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. All right, so we talked about the flag conditions, double red flags here at the Hangout Festival. Talking a little bit about what those flags mean. When you go out, you should always be looking. Double red flags mean do not get in the water because conditions are dangerous. Single red means high hazard. That could be high surf or strong rip currents. A yellow flag means caution, so look out for moderate surf or currents. A green flag means conditions are calm. And a purple flag, that's the one that could be some marine life out there. So you definitely want to keep an eye out if there is a purple flag flying on the beaches. Super important, though, when you go out onto the beach to look at those flags before you get into the water, wherever you happen to be, as we are kind of unofficially kicking off summer here in Gulf Shores. We're live at the Hangout Festival. You probably could tell that by the sound checks that are going on behind me now as gates are getting ready to open in less than 3 hours. And the weather is gorgeous. And Michael White nailed it. He talked about cool overnight and then warming up with sunshine during the day.
Yeah, that's right.
Welcome back to the Hangout Fest in Gulf Shores. This is a great day here on the beach. They are actually getting started right now with the sound checks for the Black Keys and the other bands that will be performing today. The Black Keys take the stage at 9 o'clock. They are the headliners. Gates are opening here at 11 o'clock, so in just a couple of hours. Right now, we're not alone by any means. They're doing some last-minute preparations. They are grading the sand and getting everything ready for a big day here at the beach. Well, you know, this is a warmer day. Temperatures are warming up, just like Michael White said, and you may be thinking about heading out onto the water, which looks absolutely beautiful today. Boating is a huge part of living on the Gulf Coast. It's a lot of fun, but it can also be dangerous. Listen to this. The Coast Guard says 101 people died in boating accidents along the Gulf Coast last year. They say the most important thing you can do while boating is to put on your life jacket.
Things are going to happen. We realize that's going to happen. But if you have a life jacket on, it is what it says. It's a life jacket. It's going to save your life.
Some other things to have on hand if you're boating: flares, a marine radio, and a boat plan. Well, you can expect to see a lot of boaters out on the water this weekend and all summer long. And you can bet Marine Police will be out monitoring the waters, patrolling to make sure everyone is safe. Sergeant Jody Kelly tells us what you need.
Make sure you've got everything you need as far as your safety equipment. Make sure you're familiar with all your the laws that are in this area. And if you are going to be drinking and you plan on having a fun time today, just make sure that you've got a designated driver so that we don't have to take you to jail.
Now remember, no boating in an area designated for swimming. Again, be sure you have enough life jackets for everyone on board your vessel. Make sure you abide by the established speed zone and do not operate a boat if you have been drinking. It seems like this would be a perfect day to head out onto the water. It is gorgeous out here. And again, we're at the Hangout Festival with the sound checks behind us. Michael White, it's exactly like you said. Cold overnight and beautiful today.
Thank you, Sarah. I'm just jealous that you're getting to be.
And welcome back to Fox 10 News on this beautiful Friday morning here at the Hangout Fest in Gulf Shores. It is a perfect day to be at the beach. Gates open in a couple hours at 11 o'clock. Right now, we're actually hearing the sound checks that are going on the Hangout Fest stage, getting ready for the Black Keys tonight, many other acts, and 40,000 people expected to be here today. Not only is this a big event for this weekend for our area, but it also kind of stretches on into the rest of the summer and possibly years to come. Grant Brown with the City of Gulf Shores joins me now. How big a deal is this for the city and the area?
Well, it's a great big deal for us. Last year we had 27,000 attendees. This year it's gone up to 40,000 people who will get a chance to see our beautiful Gulf beaches. They'll take that message back to all over the world with them. We have 600 million media impressions with Facebook and social media last year. With 40,000 people this year, I can't imagine what that number will end up being. So the experience that they will have here on the coast, being able to see these beautiful white sandy beaches, it's all really good for our area.
And this is just the start of things that y'all have going on and we have going on here at the beach.
It is. There's a tremendous Memorial Day weekend coming up right after Music Festival. We roll right into a big summer season. You know, the 40,000 people that are here, when they have a great experience, great weather weekend, it should be a fantastic opportunity for them to tell their friends about what they saw.
Very good. Grant, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us this morning. We are very happy to be here today. It does not get better than this with the sunshine. The temperature's warming up, but it is absolutely perfect. And we're expecting to have a lot of people joining us here very soon, guys.
All right, Sarah, looking good down there.
And welcome back to Gulf Shores. We are at the Hangout Festival, the 5th year for this big event. You hear a lot of music behind me already. Gates aren't open yet. They don't open until 11, but the music has already kind of started. They are doing sound checks here in the Hangout stage. We're in front of the Hangout stage on the west end of the setup here. We're in the VIP area, actually. This is a pretty cool place to be. You've got swimming pools, there are hot tubs, there's some cabanas going on, there's a Ferris wheel. Lots of fun things happening today and on through the weekend. Again, gates are going to open at 11 o'clock. You need to make sure you have your wristband on and make sure you take care of what you can bring and you can't bring into the festival. One thing super important today is sunscreen. It is warming up beautifully out here and the sun is shining, not a cloud in sight. It's shaping up to be an absolutely beautiful day. And Michael White, I know you're excited. I'm getting to hear all this music already this morning.
Well, I'm also jealous you're standing in the VIP area. Is that just how you roll, Sarah Wall?
For a little while today, anyway.
Well, it looks like you're having a great time. And Sarah, make sure you get some of that Gulf seafood and bring it back for us.